Meanwhile, the Rivers State government and the factional Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amaewhule, have been reacting to the Supreme Court's ruling. Edison Ehie, Chief of Staff to Governor Fubara, says the dismissed appeal is about the Court of Appeal's ruling asking Governor Fubara to re-present the 2024 budget before the Amaewhule-led House of Assembly. Mr. Amaewhule, the factional leader of the Rivers State House of Assembly, says the Supreme Court's dismissal of the appeal is a step in the right direction.
The 10th Rivers State House of Assembly is happy with this development. Rivers people are elated that the Supreme Court has indeed spoken. We want to say that our hope, our confidence in the judiciary is strengthened. We know truly that there is a country with a judiciary that will always interpret the Constitution and our laws in a manner that will be very fair and clear to everyone. It's on record, and the judgment of the Supreme Court today has affirmed that for one whole year, the governor of Rivers State spent taxpayers' money without an appropriation law. 1st January to 31st day of December 2024, the governor of Rivers State spent Rivers people's funds, both internally generated revenue and the federal allocation, from his front pockets, as if the money belongs to his family.
Let's take a closer look at this story with Monday Ubani, a senior advocate of Nigeria who joins me from Abuja, and Opunabo Inko-Tariah, a lawyer who joins me from Port Harcourt. Thank you both for making the time. I am going to start this interview with Mr. Ubani. There are conflicting reports about what happened in court today. Can you help us understand it?
Much. What happened at the Supreme Court, I hope I'm being heard. Hope you're hearing me loud and clear.
Absolutely, yes.
Am I being? Okay, fine.
You're very audible.
I said what happened at what happened at the Supreme Court today was that the appellant, and that is the government of Rivers State, withdrew their appeal they filed against the decision of the Court of Appeal. If you remember that there is a decision, or there was a decision reached by the lowest court, High Court, Federal High Court in Abuja, and then there was an appeal. And that particular judgment of the Federal High Court of Justice was affirmed by the Court of Appeal. And what is to the effect that the governor should go and present his budget to the majority members of the House and not to the 4 members that actually passed the budget. That was the decision that actually led the state government to appeal to the Supreme Court. So when the appeal was ripe for hearing, and it was due for hearing today, the appellant now voluntarily withdrew the appeal and says that the appeal has become academic because according to them, they have appropriated the 2024 budget and it has been executed. And now we are now in the new budget of 2025. So to them, that particular exercise of appeal to the Supreme Court is academic. And so they withdrew the appeal. And when you withdraw your appeal after briefs have been filed before the appellate court, the normal order that the court will ought to make is the issue of dismissal and not striking out. So the matter was dismissed, meaning that the state government will never bring up this matter again before the Supreme Court. Again, that's what it means. It's finally determined. Now, maybe when we go in the course of this discussion, because there has been
first, before I go to my second question, I just want to quickly let our viewers know that we have Mr. Opunabo Inko-Tariah has just dropped off. I think we have a little bit of a technical issue there. But let's continue this conversation with you. And let's take a step back, just one step back, to understand where all of this is coming from. Remember that Governor Fubara presented this year's budget to his 4-man House of Assembly members, same way he presented the 2024 budget. What do you make of this? And do you see Amaewhule's team challenged the decision in court?
Now, there is a situation that is still pending, and that is the issue of determining whether the other 27 members of the House of Assembly are still members of the House as a result of the alleged defection, because there was a defection. There was that particular defection. But I tell you this, the court, the provision of the Constitution with defection is that, yes, the legislators have no right to defect. That if they defect, they lose their seat. That is the provision. But it makes a proviso. The proviso, if there is crisis or disagreement or whatever within your political party, you can be excused.
Would you then say that there is a crisis in the Rivers State House of Assembly, the PDP?
No. In your political party, where you're coming from.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Let me just get you clear. The clause in that ruling is that they are allowed to defect if there is a problem within the party. And the party in question now is the bigger umbrella, the entire PDP, not the state PDP. Is that what you're saying?
It is the political party, not the state PDP. It has to be the political party. But as I said earlier, just allow me to.
It has to be, or it is.
There must be evidence of one crisis within your political party, not necessarily the state party, not necessarily the party in the state, but the party in which you belong. You must belong to a political party, either PDP or APC and all that. If you have any problem within that party, or you can prove that there is merger, that party has gone into merger. These are the two reasons under which you can defect, and you are not going to be said to have lost your seat. I hope you are following my argument.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Now, but when these issues occur, it can only be the judiciary. It's only the judiciary that will determine, because the argument of some lawyers is, because you have defected, you have lost your seat automatically. And I said, no. It is the court that will still determine whether you have lost your seat automatically. Because the man will say, I defected because of so reason. And you are saying, no, you have no reason to have defected. So who evaluate these facts? Because they have joint issues. It is the judiciary that will determine whether they have lost their seat or they are still members of PDP. That has not been determined. And I think the judgment of that particular case is coming very soon, because I heard that all the appeals were here today.
That's
and
right.
Judgment reserved. So the issue of whether they are still members of PDP or whether they are now members of APC, whether they have lost their seat automatically by that defection can only be determined by the court, and which is yet to be determined.
But let me ask you, a 4-man House of Assembly, is that normal? And can you legislate with just 4 men representing probably 4 constituencies?
The argument of those who are pushing that argument that 4 can, the argument is that, look, the other 27 members are no longer members of the House. That is the argument. In this, I'm not supporting any person. I'm only analyzing law and I'm analyzing fact. The argument of those who are pushing that 4 members can go ahead and appropriate is that those other 27 members are no longer members of the House. They have lost their seats. And they are saying that has been lost automatically. That's the argument. But there are those who are pushing that the 4 members cannot, in a House of other 30-something members, and then only 4 can now appropriate the appropriation bill, that they cannot in any way do that. That is the argument of this. So it's only the court that will finally determine whether at any point in time that those who have defected have lost their seat automatically from the State House of Assembly, thereby giving room and opportunity for 4 members now to be in a position to go ahead and legislate and make all manner of laws for the state government. So that has to be determined. For now, the position of the law is that the Court of Appeal decision stands that let me say this. What the Court of Appeal decision is that you, the governor, cannot send your appropriation bill to only 4 members of the House. Now, the man appealed against that decision. But when he now got to the Supreme Court, he now said that he has become academic, and he withdrew. So the position of the law with the Court of Appeal is that you cannot send your bill, the appropriation bill, to only 4 members of the House. That remains the position of the law. Okay. But if they now succeed with the Supreme Court saying that those 27 members have actually lost their seat, it then means that 4 members can validly validly legislate and then the appropriation bill. The appropriation bill can be done handled by them appropriately.
I guess the saga continues then. We'll keep our fingers crossed and our eyes on the story. Thank you so much, Monday Ubani, a senior advocate of Nigeria, for your thoughts tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.